Welcome back to our palette cleanser video number 2 for today. We have some good royal stuff. We have some bad royal stuff. And Netflix is rearing its ugly head again. Can you imagine? Let's cover it all, shall we? Let's go. We're going to start off this morning. Zara Tindle, Princess Eugenie, and Natalie Pinkham were all spotted together out shopping in London. I'm sure they were doing Christmas shopping, but I love seeing them together. Speaking about Zara Tindle, she and Mike were pictured out and about at a Christmas party. I don't know where, I don't know when, I don't know who, but I love the photos. Zara always looks so well put together. Next up, Queen Camilla was seen out and about. She was pictured arriving and then leaving at the Fortune Theater with family to watch a show called Operation Mincemeat. They went on a Ford Transit minibus because, of course, there was a lot of family there. It parked right outside the entrance. This theater is apparently in London's West End. And after the show, they took the minibus back to Clarence's house. And so her daughter, Laura, was there, son-in-law, Harry, grandchildren, Louis, Gus, and Eliza, granddaughter, Lola Parks, and her niece, Alice Irwin. Yeah, very nice. All right, next up, I showed you guys the other day that Zara and Mike were on the cover of Financial Review magazine's summer issue. Well, they've decided now to release some more photos. Zara looks absolutely gorgeous. I love the ones with the horse because we know how equestrian she is. All right, next up, Anne. Everybody's talking about, the Christmas card by somebody else, but Anne and her husband, Sir Tim Lawrence, released their own gorgeous Christmas card. As usual, Anne is very unpretentious. It's a card that simply has a picture of her next to her husband from an event earlier in the year, and she selected an image of them riding in a carriage after attending the Order of the Garter service in June. I love it. Let's move on to Andrew now. We know that he was invited this Thursday to Buckingham Palace for a extended royal family meal. There's going to be more than 50 members of the royal family there. And now it's being said it's untenable, and they're asking him to basically back out. It's being said that the king will not ban Andrew, but that he should take it upon himself to decline the invites, like especially the one at Sandringham. Who wants to see him walking to Sandringham with the family on Christmas Day after all this? It is being reported that Andrew was persuaded by Sarah Ferguson, the Duchess of York, not to go with the family on Christmas Day to Sandringham to spare the rest of the family any further embarrassment amid this whole thing with his close relationship with yet another unsavory individual. So while it's being reported he won't be there at Sandringham, he apparently has told people that he is going to attend the royal family's pre-Christmas lunch. And he's just, apparently spoken to a lot of friends and said that he's going, and that's all there is to it. There's something stinking about this because Andrew met this guy in 2012 and he came to the UK in 2022 as a student, according to court documents. The UK stopped and searched him in 2021 and let him continue to come and go. And then in 2023, they took him off of a plane from Beijing to London. And it was the office of Sula Braverman who then banned him in March of 2023. So there's something else going on here behind the scenes that I think we're not being made privy to. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's move on. Next up, let's move on to William and Catherine. Their children's school closed on Friday the 13th for a 3.5-week break that ends January 8th. So, of course, the family has already kicked off their celebrations. We know that they're going to lunch at Buckingham Palace. Then they're going to go to Sandringham. They're going to walk on Christmas Day to the church. And, we know what's going to happen. I'm glad they're getting some downtime. I think Catherine could use it. All right, moving on. Next up, Teen Venture put something up that basically shows that Prince William, as Colonel-in-Chief of the Welsh Guards, wrote to them and that they said that his support is a huge moral boost. All right, moving on. All right, let's continue on with William. A couple of days ago, a video was released by Kensington Palace that showed Prince William playing, I call it darts. I don't know what they call it in the UK, but he was playing against actress Hannah Waddingham, only to miss the board entirely. Apparently William yelled cut, and they showed a close-up of the board. It was a 9-minute film, and it was filmed last week at the Alexandra Palace in North London because the dart championship was starting on that day. Apparently Prince William is not very good at darts, but Princess Catherine is. This was done to promote Prince William's new environmental documentary titled The Earthshot Report, and it was aired on BBC One. Very interesting. William was wearing his plastic-free trainers by that British brand Heavy, I think is how you say it. Everything was recycled. Love it. While they were playing, this Miss Waddingham apparently spoke to William and asked him questions about the Earthshot Prize. Things like, what on earth is your obsession with seaweed? Talking about, the food packaging that comes from plants and seaweed. And William also explained how the prize was trying to stay positive about climate change rather than negative. And that's where the idea for the award ceremony came from, to create talent and solutions rather than tell people don't do this or don't do that. Ooh, could he have been throwing a little, shade there? Because I think he was. Love it. Moving on. This next story really gets me because they're trying to make it sound like it happened at the palace or the palace is responsible. But essentially what happened was one of the maids at Buckingham Palace went to a Christmas party and got drunk and was arrested. It was at a bar in Victoria in central London, which is a very short walk from the palace, on the previous Tuesday evening. Apparently, this celebration turned violent. The woman, 24 years old, was arrested on suspicion of common assault, criminal damage, and being drunk and disorderly. She apparently smashed some glasses and turned on a member of the bar staff. Now, management says the matter is being investigated and it's got nothing to do with them. But, I think it's like at the hospital, if you're ever arrested, you have to let the hospital know immediately. And otherwise they suspend you. You better have a good reason for being arrested. You have to have really clean hands, you know what I'm saying, and a clean record when you work for healthcare facilities. So this woman, if she really was arrested, could lose her job at the palace. We'll have to see. But it was not a palace party. This was an informal social gathering. It had nothing to do with the palace, although they're trying to put the spin on it that it did. All right, let's move on. Now, I'm just going to throw this in here because I find it interesting that Netflix is once again going to take a piss out of somebody at the palace because they're doing a show called The Lady. It begins filming next year, and it talks about Jane Andrews, the Duchess of York's former dresser, who was convicted of murdering her boyfriend by beating him with a cricket bat and stabbing him with a kitchen knife. Moving on. Next up, let's move on to Edward, the Duke of Edinburgh. He is in Bahrain, and he met the Crown Prince. His Majesty King Hamad bin Isa Khalifa received Edward, and the two sat down to discuss the deep-rooted historic ties between Bahrain and the United Kingdom. Edward also met with the Prime Minister, and during the meeting with both of them, he conveyed greetings from King Charles and extended his best wishes for Bahrain. And in recognition of Edward's contributions to fostering cooperation, the king gave him the prestigious King Hamad Order of Renaissance First Class. The prince then hosted a lunch banquet in honor of Edward and his delegation, which was attended by senior Bahraini officials. And these high-level engagements, the article says, underscores Bahrain's dedication to strengthening these alliances and fostering diplomatic ties with the UK. Mutual respect, shared aspirations, all that fabulous stuff. You guys know what to do. Hit the like and the subscribe button and the thumbs up button to help me with my algorithm, and then go down into the description box after you've left your comments, where you'll find the link to my Twitter, my Gettr, my Rumble, my email, my currently paused Patreon, a link to buy my father's book in case you're interested, my Amazon wish list, and my physical address. For those of you who've donated to my coffee fund, thank you so much. And as always, you guys, have a great day.